The reason why people aren't honest and they hide stuff is because they buy. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Mechanic OC YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 2003 Jeep Wrangler that I just sold and flipped and made some extra cash on. Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about the flip that I just did. I posted it yesterday and I just sold it today. And it's my 2003 Jeep Wrangler. I was using this truck as my daily driver and I bought it about a year ago and I've been pretty much just using it as a daily. And the only thing I really did on it was some front tires. I did an oil change, upper radiator hose, and then I did a starter on it. But that's basically it. And I made some good money, which I'll tell you how much money I made at the end of the video. But I want to show you guys what I did to actually sell the car. And I want to show you guys the techniques that I use to be able to flip these cars pretty quickly. As you guys know, when I first started my business, I used to flip cars to be able to get enough money to open up my shop. So when I first started my business, I was flipping cars on the side as a mechanic when I worked as a mechanic at another shop. And on the side, I would flip cars. And then I got it to a point where I was able to quit my job and do that full time. And then I was able to save up enough money to open up my own shop. And then a couple years later, here we are. I did create a course and a book on how to flip cars. Link in the description below. Flip cars on Craigslist.com, named adequately. And a lot of people really enjoyed that book. And I'm going to get more into flipping cars again, just because I know a lot of you guys really like the content. And you guys can use a little extra money, especially times like these. Mechanics have a really good trade, but unfortunately, a lot of HOAs and places don't allow us to work on people's cars out of our house or even as mobile mechanics sometimes. So flipping cars is another great way for you guys to make extra cash and use the skills that you guys already have. So let's go ahead and dive into the ad, guys. I'm going to show you guys the ad that I used to sell my Jeep. I'll tell you guys what I did right, what I did wrong, and what I'm going to do to improve next time. So basically, guys, the main thing with your ad, the one thing you always have to remember is that this is what actually sells your vehicle. People go on Craigslist and they'll put up crappy ads. They'll just put very simple descriptions, basic pictures that don't even make sense, and they're not very good and doesn't give a lot of confidence to the buyer. What you want to do with your ad, guys, is you want to always put everything you can into the ad. Number one, to inform the buyer of what they're getting, make them comfortable before they actually even see the car. And number three, it saves you time, which is the most important thing for me, especially once you guys start flipping a lot of cars. What the one thing you'll notice is that you want to save as much time as possible. When you're doing 1 or 2 cars and you're getting 3 or 4 calls a day, it doesn't really add up. But when you're flipping 5, 6, 10 cars, and you're getting bombarded with phone calls, you don't have the time to sit there and just answer people's questions all day. So if you have a good ad, you'll prevent a lot of that stuff. And people will just call you, ask you 1 or 2 questions, and then they'll set up an appointment for them to come down and test drive the car and buy it. So that's the goal with the ad, okay? So I'm going to show you guys now the ad that I used for the Jeep that I just sold. It'll be right here. Once you guys, see the pictures and then see the ad, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. But the main goal, guys, like I said, is to inform the buyer of what they're getting. You never want to leave anything out of the ad, because guess what? When they come and look at the car, they're going to find out if it's missing something, if it has a cracked windshield, if the paint isn't 100% good. They're gonna know, guys. So it's better for you to put that stuff there up front so you don't waste anybody's time, especially yours. Because if you forget to put that there's a huge defect, like it's missing a damn steering wheel, you know what I'm saying, then people are going to show up and be like, why didn't you tell me it was missing a steering wheel? That's my deal breaker. I don't want to buy a car with bad steering wheel or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you want to put everything in the ad, guys. So first things first is we're going to go through the pictures here, and I'm going to show you guys the pictures that I use. First and foremost, guys, you want to put a picture of the car at this type of angle. And the reason why I like this angle is because it kind of gives you it makes the car look cool, for number one. And number two, it kind of lets the buyer see the entire car right off the bat and they know what they're looking at. So if you can see here, I got a picture from this angle, then the next angle, which is the same side but a little bit different. Then we got another angle from the front, another angle from the side, a little close-up of the car, Another side picture, a back view, straight back, the back view from another angle, the other side. Then we got some pictures of the engine, guys. Pictures of the engines are very important, even though people don't take pictures of the engine. If you go through the process of cleaning the car properly, which I will show you guys how to do in another video, how to detail your engine bay and everything like that, you guys will know why it's so important to clean your engine bay. But as you guys can see here, the engine bay on my vehicle was very, very, very clean, and everybody really enjoyed that I kept the engine so clean. People don't know that it was power washed, so people assume that, you know, the engine was always this clean, but we go ahead and power wash it and clean it up so that all the dust is off of there, and people have a better understanding of what they're getting. When the engine's all dirty, people kind of don't like it. Okay, what else? Okay, we got the picture of the interior. 2 pictures of the interior, guys. I normally like to take a lot more pictures of the interior, but I got a little lazy here, and this is the first car I flipped in a couple years, so I kind of got a little bit lazy. We got a picture of the odometer and the picture of the check engine light. Yes, the car had a check engine light, guys, and I was able to sell it as is, and I'll explain that as well. That's a picture of the check engine light, so people knew what they were getting. And then I got a picture of the windshield, because the windshield was cracked. Okay, so those are the pictures, guys. And the main thing with the pictures is you want to show every defect, and you want to show good angles of the car in different, distances. And normally, guys, I like to take as many pictures as I can, and I will use another service like a photo bucket, and I will take like 100 or 150 really good pictures of a car and upload them there and put a link in the ad to that album from Photo Bucket or something, so they go look at more pictures. Like I said, you want to take as many pictures of the car as possible and give that to your buyer so that they have a better understanding of what they're getting before they even show up. The last thing you want, guys, is for somebody to show up and have something else in mind. You always want to present to them exactly what they're going to get when they're there in person. Because if they are cool with everything that they saw in the ad and the pictures they saw, when they show up, it's more likely that they're going to buy it. So you don't waste your time. Because guess what, guys? Showing cars, explaining to people, everything that's going on with the car, negotiate, all that stuff takes a long time. And you don't want to waste time. So again, take as many pictures of the car as possible. But these are the basic pictures that you must have. If you have these angles and you have these pictures, you'll be able to sell the car no problem, but the more, the better. Okay, so now for the ad, guys. Again, like I said, you want to give all the information away right in the ad so people know exactly what they're getting. You can see here I put 03 Jeep Wrangler, the submodel, engine, cylinder head type. I put the VIN number in case somebody want to look up the VIN number and look at the options the car has. I went ahead and put a fire sale on there. The reason why I did that is because right now we're in this whole entire world thing that we got going on. I don't want to mention the word because then this video will get demonetized. So you guys know what's going on in the world right now. And right now it's a good time to get rid of a lot of the toys that you guys have, especially if you're into it for pretty cheap. This truck I bought for $3,000 and the price that I put it up for was $5,600. Obviously, the people that were looking at the car, everybody was calling me because this is a very, very cheap price for a Jeep Wrangler, especially this year. So normally these vehicles go for like 8 grand, 9 grand, but I knew I was already gonna make money. It had a check engine light and I wanted to get rid of the car, so I wasn't really stressing about making that extra grand or two. I was more like, I'm gonna make good money off of this. I haven't put anything into the car, the registration's up. It doesn't have insurance right now. There's so many things that I needed to fix to get top dollar for it. I just wasn't willing to put that time into it. So for me, I just wanted to get rid of it. So I already knew I was gonna make money on it, but I wanted to put that extra fire sale in there so people thought that I was getting rid of it because I needed money to pay my rent or something. So use stuff like that, guys, for your advantage. If you want to put on there, I'm moving, or mechanic special or something like that, put it in there because people will be like, oh, well, they'll think they're getting a good deal. And at the end of the day, they are getting a good deal, but you want to emphasize that. A lot of people that I know will put like, oh, I'm moving out of state, and that makes the buyer think that they're going to get a better deal, and you're more willing to negotiate with them because you're moving out of state and because you want to get rid of the car, which is true. And that makes them think, okay, well, I can negotiate a better price, which is fine with me. Because I have a price that I want to sell the vehicle at. And if that person has a price too, and we can negotiate, and everybody's willing to negotiate, the negotiation goes a lot better. It's really hard when you have a seller that doesn't want to really let go of the vehicle and the buyer knows that the person isn't really willing to negotiate. So it makes the whole entire interaction a lot more difficult. But if you go into it letting the buyer know, hey, I'm willing to negotiate with you, just give me a fair price for this, let's see what we can work out, then it's a better interaction for everybody. So make sure you guys use those type of little techniques to be able to show the buyer that without telling them directly, I'm willing to negotiate, okay? Because again, guys, you don't want to say that outright, but you want to at least imply it so that the buyer's like, okay, I can probably get a better deal on this car. So long as I have my good negotiation shoes on, I should be able to get this thing for another, $500 less or something, which is cool. You want to negotiate too, you know what I'm saying? So I put 03 Jeep Fire Sale. Again, guys, I make sure I put everything in the ad. I also let my buyer know that everything, all the questions they have are answered in the ad so they don't call you and ask you a million questions. It's gonna get annoying, guys, trust me. If you wanna experiment with it, then do it, but I don't suggest it. You're gonna get the same phone call, the same questions 50 times if you don't put everything in your ad. You're gonna get asked the same question. Does the AC work? Do you have the pink slip in your hand? Is it registered? Does the radio work? What tread are the tires at? Like, they'll ask you all these questions. Answer them all in the ad, guys, so that nobody can ask you anything and you save time. Okay, so again, I'm gonna go ahead and read this out for you. Everything is answered in this post. Please read it and you should get all of your questions answered. Text me to set up a time to view the vehicle. Do not offer me an offer over the phone because you haven't looked at the vehicle. Only make offers in person. Now, guys, that last part where I said do not offer me any offers over the phone, I regret putting that in there. I normally don't put that in there, but I kind of don't want to sell cars right now. I'm like not in the mood. And for me right now, I don't want to deal with people, you know what I mean? Because the whole entire thing that's going on, I just want to get rid of this stuff, but I also don't want to really do it because I'm kind of lazy right now. I'm focused on other stuff, but I know I got to make some content for you guys, and then this is perfect, everything that's going on. I was like, well, it's good content. The guys will like it. They need some stuff that they need to do, and this will be perfect for them. So I regret putting that in there. The reason why I regret it, guys, number one, is because it gives the buyer the impression that I'm not willing to sell. And if somebody's not willing to sell, they're not willing to move down on their price, and they're not willing to negotiate, which means that you might not get the price that you want for the vehicle. Even though it's such a good deal already, people still want to negotiate, guys. And no matter what, people will try to negotiate and try to bring the price down. So you have to know that going in, and you always want to give the buyer the impression that you're willing to negotiate. So this is one of the things that I wish I wouldn't have put up, but it didn't matter because people were still calling me like crazy because this is a really good deal for this car. So for me, I would not put that in there. Do not put anything in the ad that makes it seem that you're not willing to negotiate. Don't put firm on the price. Don't put non-negotiating. Don't put any of that. Just put the price, OBO or best offer, and then let people call you and negotiate you down. If you want to sell the car for 10 grand, put it up for 11,500. Put it up for 11,800 or 10,008, and then let people negotiate you down, and you have a firm price of 10,000. So if somebody goes under the 10, then you know you're not going to sell it. You know what I mean? So know that in your head, but don't put that in the ad because you want to give people the impression that you're willing to negotiate with them. Okay? So again, I would take that out of the ad just because I will take it out of the ad next time. Again, let's go into the ad. I'm going to read this for you guys. AC blows cold, heater works, all lights and electronics work, clean title in hand, no leaks. Tags expire this month, April of 2012. I put the vehicle in non-operation. It's very important, guys. Make sure that you tell people if you put the vehicle in non-operation or if you haven't paid the tags yet, because people want to know that and they're going to ask you that. If it's non-operational, that's even better, just so people don't incur any back fees. So it's a really good idea if the car is going to end registration, put it in non-op just so you don't incur any late fees. The one thing I do like to do, guys, in the ad here is I like to go through every part of the car and then put a rating on it so people kind of have an idea of what they're getting. So for the body of the car and like exterior paint wise, I put it a 7 out of 10. The car had a really nice paint job. The hood was a little bit cracked. The clear coat was nothing bad. Even the buyer, when they showed up, they were like, "Oh, this isn't even that bad. I thought it was gonna be way worse." So they kind of already knew. But you know, I normally rate it like that. A 10 is a perfect car, brand new out the lot. A 9 is a car that is, you know, basically brand new, but it's been, you know, it's a little older. An 8 is a car that has a few scratches here and there. A 7 is a car that has scratches and dents. A 6 is a car that has you know, some parts of the body that are clear coat damage, or some really bad scratches or really bad dents, noticeable. A 5 is something that's like a body panel is like, it's pretty messed up, that's gonna need to be repaired. And then from 4 down is gonna be just cars that are really messed up and have a lot of body damage. So just use that scale, guys, as a rough scale. Make your own scale up. Just kind of, once you start doing this, you're gonna be like, okay, well, that car is a 10, that car's a 9, that car's an 8. It's like anything, but at the end of the day, be objective about it and have a good standard so you understand how to rate cars, and you know right away what you're gonna need to do to them. And people can kind of understand, okay, that's a 7. 7 is probably like good paint, but it has 1 or 2 body panels that are like a little, you know, scratched up or has a dent here and there. You know what I'm saying? And if it does have dents or scratches or anything like that, take pictures of them. Put it on the ad, guys, so people can see what they're getting before they even show up. Because if they're okay with it, when they make the appointment to show up, they're going to see it and be like, oh, okay, I saw this. They're going to come to terms with it before they even show up. And that's what you want. You want people to show up knowing what they're getting, so they're more willing to buy it when they actually test drive it. Because by the time they actually show up, guys, and they've seen everything that's bad with the car, they're there to just drive the car, make sure it drives fine, it sounds good, and that it's the same as in the ad, and they get a feel for you. So those are the main 4 things people are looking for when they're showing up to buy a car. They want to know, make sure that you're a real person, not a weirdo, and make sure that the car is legit, and the drive is good, and it doesn't make any weird noises, and that everything that you said in the ad is correct. So that's basically what they're coming to do once they've read your ad. Okay, and then if all those things check out, which they should, because you should have put them in the ad, they'll buy the car no matter what. Okay, and that's what you want. You want the first person to come in and look at the car to buy it. That is your goal every single time. Okay, and the only way to do that is by having a good ad. The interior, so I put the hood has cracked clear coat and can be seen by looking closely, and the windshield is cracked. Interior, I gave it a 6 out of 10 because the front seats were ripped, and the seats were stained. Unfortunately, I dropped my shaker cup and it stained the seats. So I put that in there. Interior is clean, but the seats are a bit on the messy side. I kind of exaggerated that. I should have just put the seats are ripped. You know, that was my bad. Again, guys, this is my first ad that I have done in a while. This is just like off the top of my head. So there's a lot of things I would do differently in this ad. So this is why I thought it would be a really good video to make, because there's a lot of things that I would have fixed for next time. And next time I'm gonna make it even better. But I'm giving you guys just a kind of like the rough draft. But like I said, in my course, I have all this stuff laid out, and I haven't even looked at that thing forever, which I'm gonna actually start doing from now on, just because we're gonna start making more flipping videos. Nothing is missing from the interior. It has all the components except for the AC knob. Really important point, guys. If there is anything missing or anything cracked, any like interior pieces that are missing, let the buyer know that. So when they show up, they're aware of that. For me, that knob for the selector for the AC was missing. So that was the only thing I needed to report on. Besides that, everything else was in the car. Everything worked. Lights, every electrical component worked. So there was really nothing else for me to mention besides that. Mechanical wise, it's an 8 out of 10. Everything works mechanically, and just got the vehicle serviced, which I did. The only problem is the check engine light is on, and I gave him the code, I gave him the definition of the code, and I told him the quote for the repair, which was gonna be $690 for the repair. It was gonna be the solenoid packs, guys, for the clutch solenoids. These Jeeps have a very common problem with that. So it was either going to be that or the torque converter. Either way, it's going to be right around $690. If it was a torque converter, which I doubt because it was intermittent, it was going to be a lot more. But, you know, I didn't mention that because I didn't want to freak anybody out. It was more than likely going to be the clutch solenoid. So especially since it was the P740 torque converter clutch solenoid circuit, which normally means the sensor's bad. So I put that in the information there. And like I said, I will not be putting any money into the car since I'm moving. Like I said again, guys, you want to make sure that you tell people, it's kind of like a white lie. A lot of you guys might not agree with this, which is fine. I don't really care. You guys have to do what's best, what you guys think is best. I'm 100% honest about everything that's going on with the vehicle, except for some things that help the negotiation go smoother. And that's when I think it's okay to make things kind of vague or throw in a white lie here and there. It's not gonna hurt the buyer if I say I'm moving. It's gonna actually make them feel better about the whole entire negotiation because they feel that they can get a better deal because I'm in a hurry to sell the vehicle. So if you guys don't agree with that, that's fine. Don't put that in there, but just understand that that's the reason I'm doing it. Not to con somebody. What I'm trying to do is make the negotiation go smoother by giving them the sense that I'm willing to negotiate, which I am, but you can't say that. You can't say, I'm willing to negotiate, because then they're gonna really lowball you. You know what I'm saying? So you wanna give them a little bit of red meat. You wanna throw them that bait and be like, hey man, I'm willing to move. I'm willing to sell this thing because I'm moving next month and I gotta get rid of this thing. So let's go. If you make me a good offer, then I'm willing to sell it to you. So that's what I'm doing there, guys. And like I said, a lot of this is just to make the negotiation go smoother. For example, I'm not gonna put on there that a P0740 code can also be the torque converter. You're gonna have to remove the transmission, which is gonna cost you $600 just to do that, not to even mention the part that we need. So I'm not gonna put that in there because it's gonna freak people out. It's gonna make the negotiation go worse. People are gonna be like, whoa man, it could be a $1,300 repair, or it could be a you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna put that in the ad. It doesn't make sense. It's more than likely the clutch solenoid. There's no reason for me to put something else in there. And if somebody really is concerned about it, then they'll wanna be like, okay, well, let's take it to a mechanic, let's have it diagnosed, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. But I'm not gonna go through that, I'm not gonna put myself through that hassle. Okay, they know what the code is. They're willing to, they could have done their research and everything like that. They know what they're getting into. So for me, guys, I try to make the negotiation as easy as possible. And if I can do something to make sure that the negotiation goes great and they get a fair deal and I get a fair deal, we're all good to go. Okay. But if you guys don't want to disclose everything, like, oh, I'm a flipper and I flip cars for a living and blah, blah, then do that and see how it goes. Okay, people don't want to know. People don't want to know that you're flipping cars. Even though you're selling them a good car, people don't want to know. They're going to be like, oh, there's something wrong, because flippers have bad reputations, obviously. But flippers have bad reputations because cars are just old, bro, and things break. And it's not my fault. The damn the check engine that came on 2 weeks later, you know what I'm saying? People don't understand that machines break, and it's not your fault. Here at the shop, I do an oil change, and then the rear brakes start making noise, and people are like, "Oh, you touched my car last, and now the brakes need to be done." And I'm like, "I didn't wear down your brakes." You know what I mean? But people don't know that. People don't know that. So understand that, and then tailor your ads to make sure people understand things and makes everything easier for everybody. Okay? This is my daily driver, and I have owned it for 2 years. It runs great with no issues. I have kept up with the basic maintenance, and I just installed 2 new front tires. Last maintenance, the auto repair shop did an oil change. I don't know where. Okay, so it runs great with no issues. I have kept up with the basic maintenance, and I just installed 2 front tires. Last maintenance, the auto repair shop did an oil change, coolant hoses, coolant flush, rear brakes, front tires, differential fluid change, and air filter tire rotation. $5,600 or best offer. Everything on it is manual. Everything works. Test drive available by appointment for serious buyers. No offers accepted or taken over the phone, only in person. I work in Mission Viejo and live in Costa Mesa. I get off work at 5 and I'm in Costa Mesa at 5:30 most days. Like I said, guys, I would have not put on there that I am not taking offers. It makes it seem like I'm not really willing to sell the car. It makes it seem that I'm a difficult seller. So again, I want to make sure people understand that I'm willing to work with them and I'm an easy person to deal with. So convey that by not putting stuff like that in the ad. So don't put that in there. But I also put my schedule so people kind of understand where they'll be meeting me, because I'm not gonna go to them. They have to come to me normally. So I like to put that I'm in this city around this time for work, and you can meet me here. I can accommodate. Or after this time, I'm over here in case you guys want to see it after work. We can meet up there, and they can kind of coordinate and see where they're at. Because remember, guys, you want at least questions as possible when people call you or text you. So one question you'll get is, can I meet you up? Yes. Where can I meet you up? Can you make this time? Can you make that time? Those are the best questions to get, and those are the questions that I'll be more than happy to answer. But I even try to get those questions down to very specific questions, and by them knowing where I'll be at. So if they know, okay, well, he's gonna be in Mission Viejo, okay, well, I'm willing to drive out there today at noon because I don't have work today. So let me hit him up and see if he's willing to meet up at noon. I'll be driving to Mission Viejo. I'm fine with that. Cool. Hey, man, can you meet up at noon? I'll drive down there to you if you can make that time. If not, I can meet you up in Costa Mesa after 5, maybe 6 o'clock, if you're willing to do that. So then I can answer, yes, Mission Viejo is cool, or yes, Costa Mesa is fine with me. Let's schedule a time up. Good to go. Let's get the test drive in. Again, guys, the main goal is to get these things sold as quick as possible with as least questions as possible, so you guys don't waste your time. That's the main part that you're trying to do, is save as much time as possible. So this ad is completely tailored to save you time, to give the buyer all the information they need and make them comfortable with what they're buying and what they're coming out to see. If somebody's driving out from LA, I'm in Mission Viejo, guys, that's over 45 miles, 50 miles from me. That's at least an hour drive for most people. Like right now, it's about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. If somebody's gonna come out here and they don't know, they have one picture to go off of and a very vague ad, and they talk to you for 2 minutes on the phone, they might show up and not be happy with something and not buy it. Number one, they'll be mad because they drove that long. They're not gonna do anything, but they'll be upset. They're already annoyed, and they might not buy the vehicle. So it's a 50-50 chance. I don't like those odds. I want to be like a 95% that if somebody drives out here, they know what they're getting because they've seen the ad, they've seen the negatives of the car, they've spoken to me, so they kind of feel my energy, and they're like, okay, well, this guy's trustworthy. He's not bullshitting about what he has, and we're willing to work with everything that we know about the car. So long as everything's cool with the car once we show up, more than likely we're gonna buy it. 90% sure they're gonna buy it. They bring cash right away. Now, obviously, this vehicle is in the $5,500 price range. If you're dealing with cars over $10,000, you're gonna need a little bit more. You're gonna need there might be two, maybe 3 times you see the person. The first one, the person's not gonna show up. If you're selling a car for $15,000, $20,000, somebody ain't gonna show up with 20 grand in their pocket, for the most part, unless it's a really good deal. But for the most part, somebody will show up, they'll make sure the car is legit, they'll make sure you're legit, then they'll say, okay, well, let's meet up again at the bank tomorrow or the next day so we could do the transfer of funds and get all the paperwork signed. Sometimes they'll be like, for some reason, they'll want to test drive it again, and then they'll come back again the third time with the buddy, and they'll have cash on hand. But for this price range, most people are okay with carrying about 5 grand in their pocket because it's a lot of money, but it's also not a lot of money. So just understand that. Over 10 grand is normally when you'll see that person twice. You'll show up, they'll like the car, then you guys will make another appointment to come and do the money thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, that's basically what the main point of this entire video is, guys, is making you guys sell cars that are easy. Okay, create an ad that answers all the questions, that make people comfortable with what they're getting, and that makes them show up ready to buy. Okay, the last thing you want, guys, is to waste your time. When you're flipping a lot of cars, and especially if you're doing this on the side as a side hustle, you do not want to waste time. You do not want to be at, after work, you rush home, you miss the gym, you leave work early, you get to your house, and you show up, and you're ready to go. The person shows up, and they're like, this isn't what I was expecting. Sorry, but I don't want to buy it. Then you wasted 3 hours of your night thinking that you're going to sell a car. You left work early, you missed the date, you missed your friends, thing. You missed the gym. You left work early, an hour early, so now you're not making that flat rate. There's a lot of things that go into it. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of waste of time, guys. You do not want that. You want somebody to call you and be like, perfect. This is exactly what I thought it was. You described it perfectly. I trust you because you put everything in the ad. Now I want to buy it. The last thing I forgot is that when you put everything in the ad, guys, people trust you. They want to do business with you because you're not lying about what you have. The biggest problem that we have in the flipping industry is that people hide stuff. They'll hide this thing or that thing. They're not just straight up white lies. They're straight up the differential is destroyed. And they put a banana peel in there and they made it quieter. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that, guys. Don't be that guy. There's enough cars to buy, guys, that are in good shape that you can make money off of. There's enough people out there that want to buy a decent car at a decent price. They understand what they're getting. Guys, just be as honest as possible. The reason why people aren't honest and they hide stuff is because they buy cars. And when they buy shit cars, excuse my language, they want to hide it and they don't want to take a loss. Because they're not good flippers. They don't understand how to buy a good car. They don't know how to inspect the car before they buy it. They don't know how to do the math in their head of what it'll cost to be able to get the car up to par, to be able to sell it for a profit. And then, or they make mistakes and they don't know, oh man, it might need this, that, and this. If it does, then I'm gonna go over my budget and I won't make any money. But they don't know that and they buy the car anyways, and then they try to not do things just to make some profit. Don't do that, guys. I'm going to teach you guys how to buy cars so that you don't have those issues. So that when you purchase a car from the beginning, you already know what you're getting yourself into and you can make money from it no matter what. You might not make a bunch of money if you buy a bad car, but you'll at least break even or make a couple bucks on it. So you're not losing your butt on it. Okay, and you could learn from it, move on to the next one where you do make money. Okay, so guys, be honest. Make the negotiations as easy as possible. Don't tell people that you're a flipper because people don't like that for whatever reason. I wish I could tell everybody, oh yeah, I'm a flipper. But people don't like that for whatever reason because of what I just mentioned. So, you got to just be like, oh yeah, I bought this car, I drove it and now I'm selling it. And then that's all they need to know. If they press you on it, then say, yeah, I've had it for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and I enjoyed it, but now I'm upgrading. Just keep it like that. Keep it simple, guys. Most people don't really push you on it, so long as you have a good response to it, and you should be okay. But at the end of the day, guys, if you know that you're selling somebody a car that's halfway decent, you shouldn't have anything. You should sleep easy at night because you know that you disclosed everything wrong with the car, and it's on them to if they wanted to purchase the vehicle, even after you told them everything that was wrong. Okay. So again, guys, I'm going to be making more videos like these, so please subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you like about the video, what other questions you guys have about flipping cars. That's how I know what videos to make, guys. I don't know what questions you guys have. I'm kind of going off the top of my head right now and kind of being like, okay, well, I think this is going to be important for them to know. So just leave me questions, let me know what you guys want to know about so I can make those videos. Okay, thanks so much for watching. And check out Flipcars on Craigslist.com if you guys want to buy my book. But that's basically how you buy and sell cars on Craigslist. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time with more flipping videos. Take care. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys how much money I made. So I sold it for $5,400. Okay, I put it up for 56, and the guy was like, "I'll give you 52," and I said, "I really want to get 54 out of it." He's like, "Okay." So he pulled out an envelope and gave it to me. So he already knew what he was willing to pay, and he was trying to get a little bit more down, but I was just like, "Give me 54. We both know it's a good deal. It is what it is." And he's like, "Okay." He just gave me the money. No problem. He's like, "You'll never hear from me again. I love it. I know what I need to do to fix the transmission. Thanks so much. Pink slip's good. Boom, boom, boom. You'll never hear from me again. Have a great life, my friend." And I said, "Take care." Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you guys later. It's running here.
Okay.
Clear? Beautiful. They're a little round. And then move the little square.
Tool time!